Blessed morning, everyone. Our topic for today is air, water pollution, climate disruption, and ozone depletion. From the word air, water pollution, we will talk all about how it disrupts climate and depletes our ozone layer. Let's start with air pollution. Air pollution means when harmful substances like smoke, dust, and chemical enters our atmosphere. There are two types of air pollution. First is outdoor air pollution. This came from vehicles burning coal and oil and factories. Ito mga to nagkakos sila ng mga problem sa environment and climate such as smog and acid rain. Second, we have indoor air pollution. This came from smoke, cooking fires, and chemical na nasa mga paint. Ito mga pollution na to, nagkakos sila ng mga health problems such as asthma, bronchitis, and lung cancer. Next we have is what is the nature of the atmosphere? Our atmosphere is structured in layers, mainly including the troposphere, which supports life, and the stratosphere, which contain the protective ozone layer. Next, we have the layer of the atmosphere. The atmosphere has 5 main layers. There is troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. Troposphere is the lowest layer. This is where we live and all living things. And this is all climate and weather occurs. Stratosphere. This is where the layer is known for its stable and dry air, and this is where the ozone layer is present, where it protects us from UV rays. Mesosphere. This is the middle layer of the atmosphere. This is the coldest layer of all, and this is where all comets disintegrated. Thermosphere. This is a very thin layer of the atmosphere, and temperature here are extremely high, and there are satellites here. Next is the exosphere. This is the outermost layer, and this is where it is the most hottest, and this is where all the satellites came from. Coming from what are the major outdoors air pollution problem? Pollutant mix in the air to form industrial smog, mostly the result of burning coal and photochemical smog caused by motor vehicle, industrial, and power plant emission. Sinasabi daw dito that yung mga vehicles and especially motor, nagpo-produce sila ng mga smoke na nakaka-harmful sa ating environment, mostly in cities and provinces. Itong mga ito nagko-contribute sa mga air pollution natin. Next, we had lead poisoning. So what is lead poisoning? Ito yung pag-i-inhale ng mga lead particles na generate sa mga pagsusunog ng containing na lead. So here are prevention and control for lead poisoning. First, prevention. Phase out leaded gasoline worldwide and waste incineration. Phase out meaning pag-i-stop na ng paggagamit. Next is ban use of lead solder, ban use of lead in computer and TV monitors, ban lead glazing for ceramicware used to serve food, ban candle with lead cores, and test blood for lead by age 1 para malaman natin kung meron na silang poisoning at this age. Next, we have the control. Replace lead pipes and plumbing fixtures containing lead solder. Remove leaded paint and food dust from older houses and apartments. Sharply reduce lead emission from incinerators. Next, remove lead from TV sets and computer monitors before incineration or land disposal para hindi mag-burn yon, para hindi tayo malason. Next, test for lead existing ceramicware used to serve food. Next, test existing candles for lead. And lastly, wash fresh fruits and vegetables. Now, what is acid deposition and why is it a problem? Acid deposition, or the other term acid rain, is caused mainly by coal burning, power plant, and motor vehicle emissions, and in some regions threaten human health, aquatic life and ecosystem, forests, and human-built structures. So sabi daw dito, yung acid rain is caused by coal burning power plants. Ibig sabihin, yung smoke or gases na pumunta sa air is magmimix sa cloud, tapos yung acidity tataas. So kapag umulan, magkaka-acid rain. What are the major indoor air pollution problems? The most threatening indoor air pollutants are smoke and soot from wood and coal cooking fires, a hazard found mostly in developing countries, and chemical use in building materials and products. So these are our indoor air pollution safety. First is test for radon and formaldehydes inside your home and lake. Corrective measure as needed. Next, do not buy furniture and other products containing formaldehydes. Next is remove your shoes before entering your house to reduce inputs of dust, lead, and pesticide. Next, test your house or workplace for asbestos fiber level and check for any crumbling asbestos material if it was built before the 1980s. Do not store gasoline, solvents, or other volatile hazardous chemical inside a home or attached garage. If you smoke, do it outside or in a closed room vented to outside. Make sure that wood burning stoves, fireplace, and kerosene and gas burning heaters are properly installed, vented, and maintained. And lastly, install carbon monoxide detector in all sleep areas. So what are the health effects of air pollution? Air pollution can contribute to asthma, chronic bronchitis, emphysema, lung cancer, heart attack, and stroke. Now, how should we deal with air pollution? Legal and economic and technological tools can help to clean up air pollution, but much greater emphasis should be focused on preventing air pollution.
The climate change and the ozone depletion. Climate change and ozone depletion are distinct environmental issues but are interconnected through the atmosphere's chemistry and the substances causing them. Climate change refers to long-term shifts in temperatures and weather patterns, primarily driven by human activities like the burning of fossils, fuels, coal, oil, and gas. while the ozone depletion is the thinning of the stratospheric ozone layer, which is located high up in the atmosphere or in the stratosphere and naturally protects Earth from the most of the sun's harmful ultraviolet radiation. How might the Earth's temperature and the climate change in the future? The Earth's atmosphere is warming rapidly, mostly because of human activities, so this will lead to the significant climate change during this century. Here are some examples. Wildfire. The increased concentration of these gases in the atmosphere contributes to the enhanced greenhouse effect, which traps more heat and accelerates global warming, leading to an even hotter future climate. The next one is floods. Those floods may slightly reinforce the warming trend by damaging natural carbon sinks and hindering mitigation efforts, but they are overwhelmingly a symptom of the warming planet, not a primary driver of future temperature increase. So next, what are some possible effects of a warmer atmosphere? The projected rapid change in the atmosphere's temperature during this century is very likely to increase drought and flooding. Shift areas where food can be grown, raise sea levels, result in intense heat waves, and cause the premature extinction of many species. Now, let's see the unavoidable effects in 2 degrees Celsius or 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit in warming with 450 parts per million carbon dioxide. The first is forest fires worsen, prolonged droughts intensify, deserts spread, major heat waves more common, fewer winter deaths in higher latitudes, conflicts over water supplies increase, and the other one, etc. So this is the potentially avoidable effects in 3 degrees Celsius or 5.4 degrees Fahrenheit warming with 550 parts per million of carbon dioxide. So ito po yung mga pwede pang maiwasan na mga epekto. The first one, forest fires get much worse. Prolonged droughts get much worse. Deserts spread more. Major heat waves and deaths from the heat increase. The irrigation and hydropower decline. And 1.4 billion people suffer water shortage. Water wars, environmental refugees, and terrorism increase. Malaria and several other tropical diseases spread faster and farther. And the other more in this PPT. So this is the next potentially avoidable effects but in the different temperature. It's 4 degrees Celsius or 7.2 degrees Fahrenheit warming with 650 parts per million of carbon dioxide. The first one again is forest fire and drought increase sharply. Water shortage affect almost all people. Crop yields fall sharply in all regions and cease in some regions. Tropical diseases spread even faster and farther. Water wars, environmental refugees, terrorism, and economic collapse increase sharply. So dito, like parang napabilis yung pag-angat nila. So next, let's produce to the reducing carbon dioxide emission. First one is drive a fuel efficient car, walk, bike, carpool, and use mass transit. Nagsasabi dito na bawasan natin yung paggamit ng nagpo-produce ng carbon dioxide. Sinabi niya na drive a fuel efficient car, yung like mahina sa paggamit ng fuel, or maglakad, magbike, or gumamit ng carpool, or mamasahe ka na lang para sa mabawasan talaga yung pag-emit, paglabas ng mga maraming carbon dioxide. Next, use energy efficient windows. Like dito, ibawasan yung paggamit ng energy sa ating bahay. Use energy efficient appliances and lights. Like sa bahay natin, like bawasan natin, ugaliin natin gumamit ng mga appliances na konti lang ang kinoconsume na energy. Next is the heavily insulate your house and seal all air leaks. Like dito sinasabi nila dapat ay siguraduhin nating safe ang ating bahay at ang mga naglalabas ng carbon dioxide sa bahay na appliances ay dapat naka-sealed or maayos sila. Reduce garbage by recycling and reusing more items. Simply, just use the 3 R's. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Next one is insulate your hot water heater. Next is use compact fluorescent light bulbs. Plant trees to shade your house during summer. Set your water heater no higher than 49 degrees Celsius or 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Wash laundry in warm or cold water. Use a low-flow shower head. Buy products from or invest in companies that are trying to reduce their impact on climate. So next, how have we depleted the ozone in the stratosphere and what can we do about it? First, widespread use of certain chemicals has reduced ozone levels in the stratosphere, which allows for more harmful ultraviolet radiation to reach the Earth's surface. Like dito nga, yung paggamit nating ng chemicals, nagpapaano sa stratosphere. Kaya, yung mga harmful na ultraviolet or the UV lights, mas napapabilis na nakapunta sa Earth's surface, mas naapektuhan yung mga tao. Next is to reverse ozone depletion. We must stop producing ozone-depleting chemicals and adhere to the international treaties that ban such chemicals. Proceed to the effects of ozone depletion. First one in human health. In human health, the first effects is worse sunburn. Yung naapektuhan yung balat natin dahil sa UV light. So, nagkaka-sunburn tayo, nagkaka-irritation ng balat natin. Next, more eye cataracts. Like yung mata, yung sakit sa mata, yung nagkaka-katarata. More skin cancer. So, dahil yung ozone natin ay mas naaano yung pag-impact ng UV light sa Earth, so, mas madaling makakuha ng skin cancer. Immune system suppression. So, next is the food and forest. First, reduced yields for some crops. Next is the reduced seafood supplies from reduced phytoplankton. Decrease forest productivity for UV-sensitive trees species. Next, in wildlife, increase eye cataracts in some species. So, like in the human, nagkakaroon din ng mga katarata ang mga ibang species in the wildlife. Next, decrease population of aquatic species sensitive to UV radiation. Nababawasan yung mga lamang dagat na sensitive sa UV radiation dahil nga dun sa ozone natin na nasisira na, mas malakas yung impact ng UV radiation sa ating Earth. Next is reduce population of surface phytoplankton. Nababawasan daw yung population ng sa lupa ng mga phytoplankton natin. Next is disrupted aquatic food webs from reduced phytoplankton. So like, yun nga yung mga phytoplankton natin. Next one is air pollution and materials. First, increase acid deposition. Na-discuss yun sa una, yung acid deposition. Next is increase photochemical smog. Then, degradation of outdoor paints and plastic. So next one, or the last one is global warming. While in the stratosphere, CFCs act as the greenhouse gases. So next, let's proceed to the reducing exposure to UV radiation. Stay out of the sun, especially between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. Like sinasabi dito, like, wag tayo masyadong magbabad sa araw, like lumabas ng walang payong or sunblock sa loob ng 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. dahil dun yung prone ng UV radiation. Do not use tanning parlors or sun lamps. Huwag daw tayo mag-use ng mga yun sa tanning parlors or yung mga sunscreen or like more on that in that time. Next is when in the sun, wear protective clothing and sunglasses that protect against UVA and UVB radiation. Dito, sinasabi na magsuot daw tayo ng mga makakapal or magdala ng payong nga. Next, in the sunglasses to protect our eyes to catarata. Next, be aware that overcast skies do not protect you. Dito, yung wag, wag tayong masyadong sa maulap na panahon. Like in the taas. Pag maulap, hindi naman ibig sabihin nun nababawasan yung UV light. Kasi pag ganon, same lang yung binibigay na UV light na nag-i-impact sa Earth. So, be careful. Next, do not expose yourself to the sun if you are taking antibiotics or birth control pills. Huwag daw tayo masyadong mag-expose or huwag tayong magpa-expose sa sinag ng araw pag nagtitake tayo ng mga medicine na like antibiotics or nagtitake kayo ng birth control pills. Kasi mas magiging prone daw kayo sa UV radiation. Next, when in the sun, use a sunscreen with a protection factors of at least 15. Use a sunscreen. So, yun. Sinabi niya, yung may factor ng 15. Hindi yung 15 layers ha. Hindi 15 layers ng sunscreen. Next, examine your skin and scalp at least once a month for moles or warts that change in size, shape, or color, and sores that keep oozing, bleeding, and crusting over. If you observe any of these signs, consult a doctor immediately. Yun nga, be aware in our body. Magpa-consult tayo, tingnan natin yung kung may nagbabago na nga sa atin sa mga sinasabi neto na nandito. Kapag meron daw na nakita tayong ganon na nag-iba sa atin, consult a doctor immediately. So that's it. Thank you for listening in my reporting in climate change and ozone depletion. So, let me call JD Gomez for him to present the water pollution.
So let's talk about water pollution. What is water pollution? Water pollution is also known as aquatic pollution. Is the contamination of water bodies such as lakes, rivers, oceans, groundwater, and reservoirs to the point that it negatively affects their uses and the natural environment. So, let's talk about the major water pollution problems in streams and lakes. Streams are extensively polluted worldwide by human activities. They can cleanse themselves of many pollutants if we don't overload them or reduce their flows. So, ang explanation po dito is tayo pong mga tao, isa po tayo sa reason kung bakit nako-contaminate yung water resources natin. Ganun po. Example po natin dito yung mga plastic waste, industrial waste. So let's now proceed to the causes and effects of water pollution. Water pollution causes illness and death in humans and other species and disrupts ecosystem. The chief resource of water pollution are agricultural activities, industrial facilities, and mining. But growth in population and resource use make it increasingly worse. So meaning po, yung water pollution is deadly and it can kill humans or other species because for example po, contaminated po yung water na nainom natin or nila, magkakos po ito ng sakit sa tao or other species. So now, let's move on to the major water pollution problems affecting groundwater and other drinking water sources. Chemical use in agriculture, industry, transportation, and homes can spill and leak into the groundwater and make it undrinkable. There are simple ways and complex ways to purify drinking water, but protecting it through pollution prevention is the least expensive and most expensive strategy. So, example po, yung fertilizer na ginagamit natin sa agriculture, siyempre may chemical yon. And then yung chemical na yon, mapupunta siya sa groundwater, which is hindi natin pwedeng inumin. Pero may way naman para mainom, which is through purifying the water. So let's now proceed to the prevention of groundwater pollution. Pag sinabi po nating prevention, ito po yung dapat nating gawin para maiwasan yung water pollution. So the first one is find substitute for toxic chemicals. And the second one is keep toxic chemicals out of the environment. And the third one is install monitoring well near landfills and underground tanks. And sa next one naman po natin is require leak detectors on the underground tanks. And next one is ban hazardous waste disposal in landfills and injection wells. So the last one is store harmful liquids in above ground tanks with leak detection and collection system. So yung mga binanggit ko po, isa lang po yan sa example kung paano natin mape-prevent yung water pollution. So let's now proceed to the cleanup. The first one is pump to surface, clean, and return to aquifer. Itong method po na to is medyo pricey. The second one is inject microorganism to clean up contamination. Masasabi po nating budget meal. And the last one is pump nanoparticles of inorganic compounds to remove pollutants. Pero yung method po na to is dinidevelop pa. And then let's now proceed to the major water pollution problems affecting oceans. The great majority of ocean pollution originates on land and includes oil and other toxic chemicals and solid waste which threaten aquatic species and other wildlife and disrupt marine ecosystem. So meaning po, pag sa land po is tayo pong tao ang may kasalanan. Yung mga basura na tinatapon natin sa ilog ay pumupunta din po sa karagatan yan. Then sa oil din po, yung mga barko na nagkakarga ng mga langis na tumatapon sa dagat, water pollution din po. The key to protecting the ocean is to reduce the flow of pollutants from land and air and from streams emptying into these waters. Then let's now proceed to the coastal water pollution, the preventions. The first one is to reduce input of toxic pollutants. Second one is separate sewage and storm lines. Third one is ban dumping of waste and sewage by ship in coastal waters. The next one is ban ocean dumping of sludge and hazardous dredge material. Next one is regulate coastal development, oil drilling, and oil shipping. The last one is require double hulls for oil tankers. And the next one is clean up. First one is improve oil spill cleanup capabilities. The next one is use nanoparticles on sewage and oil spills to dissolve the oil sewage. And the next one is require secondary treatment of coastal sewage. And the last one is use wetlands, solar aquatic, or other methods to treat sewage.